by way of Australia. G'day, mate. It was New Year's Eve, 2009, Melbourne, Australia. My husband and I had just taken possession of our very first 40-foot container of designer dog beds, ready to sell to our retail clients. And as CEO, there I was on our warehouse floor testing the quality of these dog beds. Were they too hard? Were they too soft? Well, I think we know how that story ended. They were just right. Reaching for our forklift, I pulled down on the handle to hoist myself up off that concrete floor, not knowing I was putting that forklift into reverse. Now, I do not remember the ambulance trip to the hospital, but I do remember waking up and seeing a gaping hole in my leg and an IV drip of penicillin in my arm. Now, the penicillin saved my leg, but it shut down my liver, causing me to be bedridden for all of 2009. When something like that happens, it is a disaster for a business. No sales, no business. It was brutal. We liquidated, we declared bankruptcy, and we walked into Australia's welfare system. Now, people say to me, but Bernadette, how did you bounce back so quickly? How did you go from welfare card to green card so fast? And I said, you know what? It is not about bouncing back. I mean, seriously, who wants to bounce back to that? It's about going in a totally different direction. It is about going vertical, and it is about going deeper. I call this deliberate disruption. Because if we are not deliberately disrupting the way that we think, feel, and act, then someone or something will do it to us or for us. And in today's environment, when we are not making the numbers, when our targets are increasing, when budgets are tightening, when our top talent are so much more discerning, we cannot afford to play by the old playbook. So my intention for the next couple of minutes is to share with you 3 principles of deliberate disruption. Simon Sinek suggested that we start with why. I suggest that we start with who. And I learned this through the most unexpected place, behind the high security walls of Colorado State Penitentiary. I volunteer for a non-profit called Breakthrough, and we mentor the incarcerated guys on their personal transformation and entrepreneurial journey. And at the last graduation, one of the guys, Benny, to the right of me, to the left of me rather, he said to me, Bernadette, thank you so much for helping me become a bigger, better Benny. And I said, in what way? He said, you taught me that there is a difference between wanting, needing, and desiring. He said, you've helped me build my self-trust. And here's the thing. They know that if they go out into the world again without doing the deeper work, they will be back behind those walls quicker than they can jimmy a car. The thing is, if you think about the statistics as well, 2% recidivism rate against the state average of 50% recidivism, these guys have saved the state of Colorado $24 million over the past few years. Now, think about this concept as a baseline for your growth of your business. You see, the thing is, when you can expand your identity, you will expand your influence. Identity is who you are becoming. Intentionality, the second principle, is why you're becoming. People do not resist change. They resist having to change. And that's because so many don't know what they're changing for. I mean, think about it. If you feel you have to change, you're forced to change, you're coming from a space of lack and scarcity. But if you feel that you want to change and you're excited to change, that is opportunity and abundance. And bridging these two worlds is the how. How do you become? This is iteration. And this is not a one-time transformation. It's not a quick pivot. It is a daily, deliberate practice to become a bigger, better Benny. For you to bring in the future version of you. 3 key principles, critical today. When we have got AI changing the way we work, we've got diversity reshaping every room that we are in, and your level of influence is redefining your world. It's redefining your relationships, redefining your wealth, and redefining your freedom. Disruption will always be around us, and you have a choice. Recreate the old, or lean into what you are resisting and create brand new. I think about that forklift so often and what I thought that I had completely lost. But do you know what disruption did? It introduced me to a woman I had not yet met. The leader who is standing in front of you today. And here's what I know to be true. It is not the fastest, the smartest, the most polished, the most knowledgeable person that matters. It is that salesperson, that conference organizer, that leader that can stare uncertainty in the face and say, "Come get me, I am ready. Come teach me what it is I need to learn. Come teach me who I need to become." That is deliberate disruption. That's the choice. Your influence has always been the choice. I'm Bernadette McClelland, and I would love to continue this conversation with you at any point in the future. Thank you very much.